There are regions of our planet where the line between known fact and chilling legend seems to blur. The Bermuda Triangle is perhaps the most famous of these enigmatic zones, its corners loosely marked by Bermuda, Florida, and Puerto Rico. For generations, this expanse of deep blue water has captured the human imagination. It has become a graveyard of ships and aircraft, a place where disappearances are said to occur with an unnerving frequency, leaving behind only silence. We hear of compasses spinning wildly, of radios crackling with static before falling silent forever. One of the most famous early cases is that of the USS Cyclops, a massive US Navy collier ship. In March 1918, carrying over 300 crew and passengers, it set sail from Barbados and was never seen again. It simply vanished, leaving no wreckage, no lifeboats, no oil slicks, nothing. The list of the lost continued to grow throughout the 20th century. In 1948, the aircraft Star Tiger, a British South American Airways Tudor 4, disappeared while approaching Bermuda. In both cases, the weather was reported as clear and the routine radio communications suddenly ceased. This lack of communication has led many to speculate about a catastrophic event so sudden and so total that it leaves no time for reaction. On the afternoon of December 5, 1945, 5 US Navy Avenger torpedo bombers departed from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, for a routine training exercise. The squadron was led by an experienced flight instructor, and the 14 airmen on board were well trained. The skies were clear and the seas were calm. Yet a few hours into the flight, something went terribly wrong. The squadron became hopelessly lost, their compasses apparently malfunctioning. The flight leader, Lieutenant Charles Taylor, was heard telling his pilots that his compasses were both out. He seemed to believe they were over the Florida Keys, hundreds of miles from where they should have been. "I don't know where we are," one said. "We must have got lost after that last turn." As daylight faded and fuel ran low, their communications grew more desperate, until finally they ceased altogether. The 5 aircraft and the 14 men aboard them were never heard from again. A PBM Mariner flying boat with a crew of 13 was dispatched on a search and rescue mission for the lost squadron. It radioed back its position and then, just like Flight 19, it vanished. A ship in the area later reported seeing a massive explosion in the sky. The idea that alien spacecraft are abducting ships and planes from the region is one of the most persistent and popular explanations. Proponents suggest an underwater alien base may exist in the area, from which extraterrestrials venture forth to collect human and technological specimens for study. Tales of strange lights in the sky, or submerged objects moving at impossible speeds have been linked to the disappearances. Another set of theories delves into myth and fantasy, suggesting the Bermuda Triangle is a gateway to another dimension. This idea posits that a time warp or dimensional portal occasionally opens in the region, swallowing vessels whole and transporting them to another time or reality. Some suggest a link to the legendary lost city of Atlantis, proposing that advanced energy crystals from the sunken civilization still lie on the ocean floor. One of the earliest and most enduring scientific theories proposed to explain the Bermuda Triangle's mysteries concerns the Earth's magnetic field. The region is one of only 2 places on the planet where true north and magnetic north align. Normally, a compass needle points to magnetic north, and navigators must adjust their readings to find true geographic north. In the Bermuda Triangle, this complication is supposedly absent. Pilots and sailors have reported compasses spinning erratically and electronic equipment malfunctioning without warning. The scientific community, however, remains skeptical of this as a primary cause. While minor magnetic fluctuations are a global phenomenon, there is no evidence of uniquely powerful magnetic disturbances within the Bermuda Triangle. Modern aircraft and ships rely on a suite of advanced navigational aids, including GPS, which are not affected by magnetic variations. The United States Coast Guard and other official bodies have stated that they have not observed any unusual magnetic fields in the area. The ocean floor in parts of the Bermuda Triangle is known to contain vast deposits of methane hydrates. These are ice-like structures where methane gas is trapped within a crystal lattice of water. However, if the temperature rises or the pressure changes, these hydrates can rapidly destabilize, releasing enormous volumes of methane gas in a cataclysmic eruption. A ship sailing into this area of aerated, frothy water would lose buoyancy almost instantly and sink like a stone. Laboratory experiments have demonstrated that a model ship can indeed be sunk rapidly by bubbling gas from below. This theory gained significant traction after scientists confirmed the existence of large methane hydrate fields in the region, particularly along the Blake Ridge. Furthermore, this theory does little to explain the loss of aircraft, making it unlikely to reach a flammable concentration at flight altitudes. In our search for extraordinary explanations, it is easy to overlook the most common cause of accidents, both at sea and in the air: human error. A simple miscalculation, a moment of inattention, or a poor decision made under pressure can have catastrophic consequences. Let us revisit the case of Flight 19. The flight leader, Lieutenant Charles Taylor, was an experienced pilot, but he was new to the Fort Lauderdale area and had reportedly tried to be excused from the flight that day. His fatal belief that he was over the Florida Keys when he was actually east of Florida set the squadron on a disastrous course out into the open Atlantic. Similarly, many of the ships lost in the Triangle were sailing through a region known for its extreme and unpredictable weather. The area is also known as Hurricane Alley, with a high frequency of tropical cyclones. The USS Cyclops, for example, may have encountered a rogue wave, a single, massive wall of water that can reach heights of over 100 feet. Such a wave could snap a large ship in two, sinking it almost instantly without giving the crew a chance to radio for help. The Bermuda Triangle is a popular area for amateur pilots and sailors. A private pilot flying a small plane or a yachtsman on their first long-distance voyage may not have the skills or experience to handle the sudden challenges the region can present. A sudden squall, an equipment malfunction, or a simple navigational mistake can quickly escalate into a life-threatening situation. The sea is unforgiving of mistakes, and this truth is perhaps the most powerful force within the Triangle. One commercial airline pilot with over 30 years of experience flying routes between the United States and the Caribbean told me plainly, "It's a stretch of ocean like any other, but with its own unique personality. You respect the weather, you trust your instruments, and you follow your training. We don't fly in fear of some mysterious force." This pilot explained that while minor compass fluctuations can occur, modern aircraft have multiple redundant navigation systems. Dr. Simon Boxall, a physical oceanographer, has noted that the Triangle's reputation is largely a manufactured one. He points out that the region experiences a very high volume of traffic, from commercial shipping and cruise liners to private yachts and aircraft. If you look at the number of incidents relative to the number of vessels passing through, you'll find that the Bermuda Triangle is no more dangerous than many other parts of the world's oceans. After journeying through the mists of legend and the corridors of science, we arrive at the shore of reality. What is really happening in the Bermuda Triangle? The truth, it seems, is far less mysterious, but no less compelling than the myths. The Bermuda Triangle is not a place where the laws of physics cease to apply. Rather, it is a place where a unique combination of natural forces creates a challenging and sometimes treacherous environment. There is no single, all-encompassing explanation for the disappearances, because there is no single, overarching mystery to be solved. Credible investigations by organizations like the United States Coast Guard and Lloyd's of London have concluded that the number of losses in the Bermuda Triangle is not abnormal when considered in proportion to the high volume of traffic. The mystery was largely popularized by writers in the mid-20th century, who connected unrelated incidents, embellished details, and ignored official reports to create a compelling narrative. So the Bermuda Triangle is both fact and fiction. The fact is that it is a region of the Atlantic Ocean where powerful natural forces converge. The swift Gulf Stream, the potential for rogue waves, and the frequent passage of hurricanes. These are real dangers that demand respect. The fiction is the tapestry of aliens, time warps, and malevolent energies that has been woven around these facts. The true wonder of the Bermuda Triangle is not in its paranormal reputation, but in the raw, untamable power of our planet's oceans and atmosphere. Understanding this allows us to see the world not as a place of supernatural threats, but as a dynamic and powerful system that we must strive to navigate with knowledge, caution, and a profound sense of awe.